strategy creation on Tradetron, and I have chosen this particular strategy, which will try to create and using Tradetron's create strategy feature. So I'll just quickly explain the strategy logic or rules based on which we'll create the strategy. The position that will be taken by strategy is Nifty covered call. So in which it will buy a future and sell an ATM call. And when we do it, so when closing price crosses above EMA at that time, with that ADX value of Nifty future should be greater than 25. So these are two basic rules based on which we will take the trade, and then we will manage the positions taken using different conditions. So we'll try to cover maximum types of keywords in the conditions, and also some position management tricks. So this is the create strategy page. Every strategy can have one or maybe more than one set. Every set has entry condition, exit condition, repair condition. So we'll go through each of these. So we'll start with entry condition, which as I explained it in description. So we'll start with position keyword. Position keyword basically allows you to select the candle number. So 0 being the latest candle, -1 is for previous candle, -2 is for previous to previous candle in whatever time frame you're working. So I start with close. I want to trade on closing of candle. So when previous candle is closed, then I want to place the order. After you have selected close, then you can define the time frame. So we will work with, let's say, 30-minute time frame, and I need around 300 candles for my calculations to be done. Okay. Here I can select the instrument by selecting NFO, Nifty, and expiry as 30th April being current month expiry, or just current month. So it will every day it will check which is the current expiry and take that instrument into consideration uh, for condition checking. So this is one way. This is how you can select the instrument, or you can also directly select futures if you want futures symbol. So here you just have to mention the underlying. It will automatically get which is the current month future, and its closing price will come here. So closing price should be greater than, I'll define EMA. EMA again -1. EMA I want to take off for 30 period of close. Same way, I'll select future here. 30-minute candles. Again 300. So this is a simple rule saying closing should be greater than previous candle close should be greater than previous candle EMA. Here we'll select Nifty. For each keyword you have to select the instrument name. That is very important. Now we'll add one more condition, and I'll just copy this block, paste it here. I'm using less than sign. Okay, and here all we'll change is this position number. So previous to previous candle closing should be less than EMA. So this is a crossover condition. So in previous candle closing is greater than EMA, and before that closing was less than EMA. Now we'll jump to the ADX condition. Again, we'll start with position keyword, ADX, previous candle, again Nifty, futures on 30 minutes, 300. This should be greater than number 25. So I have defined three different rules first two rules are for close EMA crossover, and the third rule is for ADX condition, that ADX of Nifty 50 should be greater than 25 when this crossover happens. That will become my entry point. So when this condition is true, what positions I want to take, that you can define from position section. You just click on add, select an exchange. I want to buy a future of Nifty. It will be MIS order. We'll be doing intraday trading. In expiry, mostly most of the people select current month expiry as it's highly liquid. But if you want to select next month expiry, you can do that as well. Here you can define the number of lots. For this, we'll select one lot. So I've added one position to buy Nifty future. Now we will add one more position. So you, with one condition, you can take one or more than one positions in one go. So with this, we'll be selling call again of Nifty MIS order. Now here you can select it to be current week option, current month option, or you can use a formula. You can click on FX, select current week expiry. Let's say if you want to short next week option. So how you can do it? You just have to select this current week keyword and select one here. So one stands for next expiry, zero stands for current expiry. Similarly, if you want to select next month expiry, then you have to select current month expiry keyword, and in that you have to select underlying as Nifty 50 and the offset of the expiry which you want to select, 0 being the current, 1 being the next, 2 next to next, like that. So we have set it to current week expiry. You can also select current week from here. It's the same thing in this case. Similarly, even strike can be a formula. So currently, by default, it is ATM is selected. So based on current LTP price of Nifty future, it will select the ATM strike. But let's say if you want to buy, if you want to sell OTM call instead of ATM, then you go to FX, select ATM, select Nifty, and again you can define the step size. So step size in Nifty is 50 points. So consecutive strike price difference in Nifty option chain is 50 points. So 0 being the current ATM, 1 is one step OTM call. So 50 points OTM call, 2 stands for 100 points OTM call. Similarly, if you want to go out of the money in puts option, then you have to select -1, -2, and so on. So we will select one step out of the money option here. So, okay, and add this position. So now we have added two positions in set one entry condition. So when this condition is satisfied, we want these two positions will be taken, which is buy current month Nifty future and sell one strike OTM call. Now we'll put simple exit rules first. So let's say if PNL of this setup is greater than number 4500, I want to exit. I want to put a stop loss as well. So if PNL of this setup goes less than 3500, again I want to exit the setup. Again, you can do some more interesting stuff here. So let's say you are buying a future and selling a call. Let's say if you want to individually put a target profit in this call option, so that you can do using a repair condition. In repair condition, we will write a target profit condition for that particular leg of call that we are selling. So here we will define LTP, which is last traded price of a traded instrument. And which is my traded instrument? So its type was entry because it is coming from entry condition. Instrument name I want. Underlying is Nifty. It is set number 1. condition number 1 and leg number 2. Why I'm putting leg number 2 here and why set number 1? So I'll explain that. So this position is second leg in this position builder and it is in set number 1. So that is why I have selected set as 1 and leg as 2. So this will basically get the price of that particular instrument traded there, that particular call. If that value is less than, again we will use traded instrument keyword which will fetch the entry price of that particular instrument in uh, minus 20. So I'm just putting, because it is a short position, we will put an exit condition when the price of that particular instrument comes 20 points below the entry price. So this particular keyword which you see here, traded instrument entry price, is giving me the price at which trade was actually taken. This is giving me the last traded price, and based on that you can do any calculation. So you can put a target profit in percentage also. So it will be just multiplied by some number. Let's say 0.8. You can multiply it by 0.8. So it will give you 20% profit booking on that particular instrument. So when this condition is true, I want to exit this particular option. So you can add a position as you have sold an entry, then you have to buy here. So it will be a buy type of order for a call in Nifty 50. Order will be again MIS. It was a current peak option, so I'll select current peak. Lot will be 1 in strike. So strike will again has to be a formula because we want the same strike that you had traded in the entry. So again we will use traded instrument keyword entry type because we want to fetch the strike from entry positions. This time I don't want to fetch the price, I want to fetch the strike price of that particular instrument of Nifty 50. Again set 1, condition 1 in leg 2. So it will exit the same option that you sold here. It will buy when 20 point profit is achieved. And if that doesn't happen and Nifty goes up, then it will check for this condition. You can also add, as it is an intraday strategy, you can also add one more condition to exit when time is greater than 15:00, which is 3 p.m. So after 3 p.m., it will exit the position. So this is how you can define a strategy. You can do position management. You can fetch the price of any particular instrument which you have traded. So in this strategy, we have covered some technical indicators, how you can define technical indicators, right? Rules based on that. Then we have discussed how you can put a target profit or stop loss on any of particular leg or at a strategy level using the keywords. So once you have created the strategy, now I'll move to the advanced setting part. And also I'll discuss, let's say this setup we have done for the bullish position. Let's say if you want to do on the reverse side, so you can just add a new set and put all your short condition which will be reversed to the entry condition here. Positions again will be the reverse, and similarly you have to adjust the variables here. Their set number will become 2. That will be the only change everywhere. The set number will be 2, and you can create a similar setup for the short side as well. Okay, now I'll move to the advanced setting part. Once a trade signal is generated, this price seeking algorithm basically gives you a way to optimize your execution price. So basically, get a trade fell at an optimal price. So you can decide any of these values based on your strategy logic or requirements. So if I select LTP, it will place a limit order at last traded price. Then based on this selection, it will wait for 4 seconds to see if that order is getting filled. Let's say in 4 seconds, if that order doesn't get filled, then it will modify the price by 2 ticks or 3 ticks, whatever you select. Again, it will wait for 4 seconds. So you can decide how many such attempts you want to make. So if I make 5 attempts of 4 seconds each, then I'm putting a limit order and waiting and modifying it for 20 seconds. And after, let's say, 20 seconds, I don't get a trade filled, then I can decide finally to execute my orders at market price. Or I can also decide to cancel these orders. So there are these two options available with you. Then you can use tranching if you have larger lot sizes, or huge quantities if you want to trade and you don't want to hit the market in one go. Then you can use tranching to uh, slice your order in multiple legs. Then you can also put a trailing stop loss. So if my profit reaches 4,000 rupees, or let's say if my profit reaches 1,000 rupees, bring my activate the trailing stop loss at cost zero. So if my PNL goes below zero, immediately it will exit all the positions of the strategy. Then after 1,000, with every 1 rupee increase in profit, increase my trailing stop loss by 1 rupee. So if my profit reaches 2,000, trailing stop loss will stand at 1,000 rupees. If my profit reaches 3,000, trailing stop loss will stand at 2,000 rupees. So as soon as PNL goes below 2,000, it will exit all the positions. Now once it is uh, satisfied, either it will be a target profit or stop loss or a time-based condition, which we have mentioned. Wait a second. So as we have mentioned, target profit, stop loss, and time condition. So whenever this universal exit happens, the strategy status changes. So if you want to trade multiple times in a day, then you can select like 2 minutes also. But if you want to take only one, if you wanted to trade only has exited after 3 p.m., it will reactivate itself around 9 p.m. in the evening, and then next morning it will be ready to check the entry conditions again and take new fresh positions. This setting allows you to restrict your strategy to place any order based on any condition. It won't check any condition for first 5 minutes and last 10 minutes of the exchange time, because markets are very volatile during this time. So if you want to restrict your algo to not to place any order during this time, then you can use this setting. Uh, if you have a positional strategy, then your positions can be rolled over to next month, or next week based on given time on the day of expiry. You can use that. And this is marketplace setting. If you choose to list your strategy in marketplace, then you can select yes here. You can decide a fixed fee for your strategy per month, or you can put a variable fee, maybe 15% or any number that you want to put. You can make your strategies public with the private link, so only it will not be available on Tradetron's marketplace, but only once having the link of your strategy can subscribe to it. You can also allow others to duplicate your strategy from here if you wish to, and you can also you have an option to confirm each subscriber manually. You can also hide all your subscribers from new users coming to your strategy profile page. So all these setting is available. So currently I'm making this strategy public and with private link only, and I'll allow others to duplicate this strategy so that they can play around with the position. Okay, so I'll keep as zero. So strategy is created. I'll share the link of this strategy in chat so you all can duplicate it and play around with the conditions. Yeah, Anirudh, you can also create range breakout strategies, and for that, so this most of the strategy structure will remain same. I'll give you a keyword which will help you to create your range breakout strategy. So there is a keyword called ORB, which is Open Range Break keyword. In this, you have to define the instrument name on which you want to make a breakout strategy. Here you can define the high, low, open, close, whatever value you want to select for a particular time frame. Let's say if you want to place trade based on, let's say, 10 a.m. to 10:30 high, when LTP crosses about high value of 10 to 10:30 of an instrument. So you can use this. And condition will look something like this. So if LTP goes above high value, then this will become your entry condition, then take the position. Similarly, for the short side, it will be low here instead of high, and LTP should be less than low value. So I think this will help you to create the range breakout strategy. Okay, so any other questions or any other thing, if you have attempted to create a strategy or face any difficulty in putting something, just let me know. Yeah, even volume is there. Volume series is a keyword which gives you a volume of each any instrument basically. Yeah. So again, you have to use this in position keyword. So position, volume series, and so on. So candle type like -1, -2, you can select from here. Once you have selected that, then you have to select the candle frequency and everything, similar to how you do it in EMA. Great. So if let's say if you are trying to create a strategy and if you get stuck somewhere or if you're confused that if your conditions are correct or no, so you can just post a screenshot of your conditions on support@tradetron.tech, and we will reply you on that whether you have made any whether you need to make any changes to make your conditions correct. I'm just putting the uh, email ID here. So you can anytime any of your strategy to be configured. If you're not able to do it yourself, you can definitely write it to us at support, and we can help you to configure your strategy as well on some based on some charges required to do that work. Thank you, Anirudh, that you like the product. Uh, I hope this session was informative and you got to learn something and you will attempt to create some good strategies. Anirudh, you can sign up for free. You can create one strategy for free and paper trade it. So for one strategy, it is for free. You can use the platform. Yeah. Okay, so we'll end this session here. Thank you so much for joining. Bye.